What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for another top 10 countdown. Today I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite 21 Pilots songs. Now this is made possible by you guys because I said once my Blurryface review gets to 100,000 views, I'm going to make this top 10 countdown. Thought about waiting for the new album, but you know what? If I have to redo the video someday, then so be it. Wait a second, hold the phone. Before we get to the countdown, I want to thank our sponsor, the Amino apps, more specifically the Click Amino app for 21 Pilots fans. Now obviously I've shouted them out in the past. Many of you guys are already using the app, but the first step to this little contest that they're about to start running is to join the app. It's totally free. You can find me, username ARTV. I'm already on there. I've been on the app for over a year, and I think a lot of you guys have joined up. Now, right now, they're running a little contest called Fan Art Friday. You might be familiar with the hashtag over on Twitter, but now they're running it themselves. So what you want to do, join the app, or if you're already on there, and then post your actual fan art that you've drawn. Maybe it's of Tyler, maybe it's of Josh, maybe it's of something inspired by one of their songs. Post away, and the posts that have the most likes and comments at the end of the week from November 13th to the 17th will actually have a chance to win physical copies of their album on either vinyl or CD, which is pretty dang cool if you ask me. Now, throughout the week, the official Twitter of Amino at Amino Apps is going to be tweeting out some of the submissions that they really love, and be sure to retweet yours if you actually see it pop up once you've followed them. Now, all you have to do whenever you post is use the hashtag ClickArt or else Fan Art Friday over on there. That's how they're going to be able to find your post, and throughout the week, they're going to be narrowing it down to just 5 of you guys, and then the final 5 will face off from there. Now, every single person that enters this contest, everything you submit in terms of art is all going to be compiled into one HD lock screen for an iPhone or Android, whatever you use it for. So even if you don't win, you're still going to be included. So be sure to join the app, or if you're already on there, post your submissions using those 2 hashtags that I mentioned, and boom, you could win 21 Pilots physical merchandise.
Won't you stay alive? I'll take you on a ride. I will make you believe you are lovely. Won't you stay alive? I'll take you on a ride. I will make you believe you are lovely.
Unfortunately, the album Regional at Best is no longer in print, but you can get tracks like Lovely on the bonus track edition of Vessel. Now, this is a track that I love. I love Lovely. That's a tongue twister right there, but I do love this track. It's very sincere, and it's one of the T.O.P. songs that I feel is extremely uplifting, not only with its instrumental, but also with its lyrics. It's trying to comfort a friend, basically saying, I will make you feel whole. I will make you feel loved. So what? You're feeling down. You're in this rut right now. Don't worry, we're going to get through this together. And it's such a track that I connect with because of that uplifting synthesizer. I think that that's super, super catchy. It's a very danceable one, but at the same time, you also connect with the lyrical content.
Zombies walking around with it ain't been a hunch, saying stuff like, you only live once. You got one time to figure it out, one time to twist and one time to shout, one time to think, and I say we're starting now. Sing it with me if you know what I'm talking about. Gangsters don't cry, therefore I'm
I had like a battering ram going back and forth, swaying so many different ways whenever I was trying to include one of the intro tracks from either Vessel or else Blurryface on my list. And even though I love Ode to Sleep, right now I am leaning towards Heavy Dirty Soul. 2 amazing album openers. No discredit, obviously an honorable mention to Ode to Sleep. All the honorable mentions are in the description if you want to see more, but this one in particular has always struck me. It's such a fun opener, and it has a lot of different styles to it. Once again, just like Ode to Sleep, but this one feels even more bombastic, especially as those keys, the drums, everything just explodes. This song has multiple faces, and I think that that really sets the tone for Blurryface. There's going to be more than one persona amplified here on the album, and everything about this instrumental is, as the kids say, lit.
everyone gather around for a show. Watch as this man disappears as we know. Do me a favor and try to ignore as you watch him fall through a bleeding trapdoor.
I think you guys are going to be surprised at the number of inclusions I have from 2009's Self-Titled. That's something that myself, I have really gotten into a lot more as of recent. This is an album that does go a little bit under the radar, but I've seen a lot of appreciation for it at the same time, and I'm glad for that because overall, it's a very down-to-earth yet chaotic in terms of the mind's cluttered feelings between suicide, between not wanting to do certain things, not being able to feel a certain way, and struggling to find happiness. There's all of that, and there's many torn voices that cry out on a record like this. And this one in particular, Trapdoor, is definitely accentuating a lot of those qualities. And a song like Trapdoor is so special. I wish that they would play this live still. I wish that I would actually be able to see them live and maybe even a smaller setting, because this feels like a more intimate and personal message. It's one that can be applied to a lot of different scenarios, but I love Tyler's vocals on this one in particular. He really just soars, especially that piano. It reminds me a little bit of some alternative bands of the early 2000s, and even though this was very lowly produced, just made in Tyler's basement, I believe, all the way back in '09, it still feels very special and connects years later.
They think this thing is a highway. If it was our way, we'd have a tempo change every other time change. Cause our minds change and what we think is good. I wasn't raised in the hood, but I know a thing or two about pain and darkness. If it wasn't for this music, I don't know how I would have thought this. Regardless, all these songs I'm hearing are so heartless.
I know a lot of people who do not like 21 Pilots that just discredit Tyler Joseph as a rapper, but I don't understand why. He's clearly so talented as an MC, and while he's on a different playing field than many of modern rappers, I think at the same time, he's able to move so quickly, so rapidly with what he wants to get across. It's like a snake striking. You don't even realize it's happening sometimes. Lane Boy is still a bop several years later. This is one of those jams that you just kind of groove to because of that great bass line. I love Josh Dunn's drumming on this in particular. This one has always stood out to me, and obviously the raps are fantastic here. They just move so quickly and they shift lanes as he talks about where they are in the music industry, their place, not exactly wanting to conform, but at the same time having to stay with the times in a way. It's a very conflicted song, as are many of T.O.P's, but this one in particular has always stood the test of time for me. I keep coming back to it because it's so multifaceted and just fast moving. The huge synth explosion on Friend Please has always reminded me of Muse, just the way that it has that glow about it, and it's so earnest in its appeal. He's saying, friend, please do not take your own life, stay here with me, we can talk this out, I'm here for you. And it seems like not only Tyler himself, but also many of his friends went through many depressing emotions, and that's why so many people connect to their music in general, feeling down, feeling sad, and I think that sometimes people get the wrong idea about what T.O.P. are all about. I feel like they're trying to lift people out of the mire, and people I see doing it the wrong way, like young fans who are like, oh, this is my sad music, I listen to this to try to make myself sad. That's the wrong message. If you listen to a song like Friend Please, which is just so powerful overall, you will clearly see that Tyler Joseph is very much against suicide, very much against hurting yourself, and very much about trying to love yourself.
Remember the moment, you know exactly where you're going, cause the next moment before you know what time is slow, and then it's frozen still, and the windowsill looks really nice, right? You think twice about your life, it probably happens at night, right? Fight it, take the pain, ignite it, tie a noose around your mind, loose enough to breathe, fine and tie it.
Ladies and gents, my first ever 21 Pilots song. That's right, we have Holding On To You from Vessel. I remember finding this band in October, I believe, of 2012, and I was like, okay, I'm on the Fueled by Ramen YouTube channel here. I would just browse that occasionally, seeing if they had signed anybody new, what was going on, any cool music videos, and I clicked on this one, and I liked the artsy appeal of the music video and how rapid everything moved. I liked the rapping, and I was like, okay, I'm making a mental note, check out this album whenever it comes out. And I remember once I discovered the album, I started playing this one even more. I had saved it to my favorites playlist on YouTube, and I kept coming back to it occasionally, but once the album dropped, I was hooked on a song like this because it has kind of a quirky, just odd vibe to it. It's something that you just can't put your finger on, and that's what I like about the duo in general. They just are a little bit all over the charts, and I know that it would be easy to label them as just indie pop or indie rap or alternative or whatever, but honestly, they fit a lot of different labels, and a song like this just shows how well they can do a chorus, verses, and a bridge.
I've got a migraine, and my pain will range from up, down, and sideways. Thank God it's Friday, cause Fridays will always be better than Sundays, cause Sundays are my suicide days. I don't know why they always seem so dismal. Thunderstorms, clouds, snow, and a slight drizzle. Whether it's the weather or the letters by my bed, sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head.
My number 4 pick is Migraine. Once again, another choice from Vessel. This song is just beautiful. I love the way that it opens up with the vocated vocals before just the smashing drums that kind of stay steady throughout the entire song come in. This is a song that you can easily just learn, sing along to, even the raps. Some people find his rapping annoying. I honestly find it very endearing, especially moments like this. I've had this song saved off and on for years in my favorites playlist on Spotify, and it's one that I keep gravitating towards because it has a certain flair about it that even some of their other songs do not have. This one once again feels kind of upbeat, especially with that punchy kind of light drum that you feel, and that really solid chorus that sees him stretching his vocals into other ranges, and then it just kind of just drops off right before you get back into the next verses, and I like the way the song closes as well. Honestly, it's one of their best, I think, through and through, and I think Vessel at this point is definitely my favorite album from them.
Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. Even when I doubt you, I'm no good without you. No.
I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at seeing number 3 up as high as it is. It's Doubt, a deep cut from Blurryface that came out in 2015. This song was an almost instant favorite for me off of the record. I love the synths on this thing. They feel modern, but at the same time, they remind me a little bit of their debut album. And those clicky, punchy drums are a little bit different than what they've done before. It almost feels like as close to a trap-leaning thing that they could get without being trap whatsoever. I know that probably doesn't make much sense, but it's just kind of glitchy and drippy in the way that it comes across. And I like the almost slurred rap that's very slow to start, and then it almost gets desperate as he sings the chorus. Don't forget about me, even when I doubt you, I'm no good without you. And those keys are just going in the background very rapidly, especially during the chorus. And then the bridge of this track, repeating simple phrases, all of those other lines that come across. I feel like it's about dealing with anxiety and other things that pop up in life. But overall, I do feel like this is a religiously inclined song.
So the hearse ran out of gas, a passenger person grabbed a map, and the driver inside it contrived a new route to save the past. Checked his watch and grabbed a cab, a beautifully planned taxi cab. A cab had it cleared out back, and 2 men started to unpack. Driving once again, but now this time there were 3 men, and then I heard one of them say, I know the night will turn to gray.
Almost to the top of the list, we have number 2 from the self-titled '09 album, it's Taxi Cab. I think that this is the most beautiful, clean vocal performance I've ever heard from Tyler Joseph. Still to this day, it's something that strikes me more and more over time. And for a while, I was occasionally coming back to this song. It was one of the standouts, and still obviously is, off of the self-titled. But I think at this point, it's very clear about how much I love a song like this. It, I think, is mainly about death, and that's something that is very morbid in a way, but he looks at it with a different angle. And as it breaks down into its final phase, we actually get a great rap, one of my favorites from Joseph, and apparently it's one of his favorites as well. He's spoken about this verse, and he says that he's so proud of it. It's one of his best that he's ever written, and I can absolutely see why. It feels melancholy. It almost feels like you're on the drive to a funeral, and you're trying to ponder, and he's talking about his own life, and he's saying, am I alive or am I living dead? Am I just already in the shell? Am I already in the grave? Essentially, I'm not letting myself be happy and live.
I ponder of something terrifying, cause this time there's no sound to hide behind. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. Oh dear, I don't know if we know why we're here. Oh my, too deep, please stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound. There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only 2, and from the 2 that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose.
While I love plenty of 21 Pilots' songs, there's not that many that just move me to the point personally of emotion. But Car Radio, my number 1 favorite 21 Pilots songs, nearly every single time gets me. Car Radio is just another dark portrait. It's something where we get into the mind of Tyler Joseph and we see him just vividly recalling a lot of reflections on life, and his rapping here is just fantastic. And the way that the piano and the clicking drums just roll throughout this entire song, build up to that huge, just danceable bridge that you don't see coming, it's so unexpected in many different ways. But the words here are the most important thing to me. There's something where you can actually chillingly feel in your heart and soul what he's pushing across. And I've learned a lot of the rap myself. I try to pay attention to the words every single time, and they're just so impactful. What did you guys think about my top 10 21 Pilots songs? Be sure to let me know some of your favorites in the comment section down below, along with what you thought about my list. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, and the honorable mentions are in the description as well. If you're able to support me on Patreon to help videos like this keep coming every single month, then it's the annotation over in the corner of your screen there. If you would like to see another 21 Pilots review, right over here, or another top 10 countdown, right over here. All of my social media can be found in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you soon right here on ARTV.